Prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is the practice of crafting and refining the instructions you give an AI model so it reliably produces the output you actually want. Here's the same request asked two ways. Write something about our product. You get something generic back. Great, and offers many benefits for many types of users. Vague in, vague out. Now, write a 2-sentence product tagline for busy freelancers focused on saving time. Same model, same underlying task. But now it has enough to actually work with, and the answer is sharp and usable. That gap is the answer is sharp and usable. The most basic type is zero-shot. You just describe the task, no examples. Ask it to classify, this movie was okay, nothing special, and you get an answer, but it might come back wordy or inconsistently formatted. Neutral, I guess, kind of a mixed review. Few-shot changes that, you show the pattern first. Amazing, goes to positive. Terrible, goes to negative. Now the same question gets a single clean word back, neutral. Same model, same question. Few-shot just locked in exactly the output format you wanted. Another type, role or persona, prompting, assigning the model a role before it answers. Just ask, explain SQL injection, and you get a textbook definition. Ask the same thing as, you are a senior security engineer mentoring a junior developer. Explain SQL injection with a short code example of the fix, and the answer shifts entirely, more concrete, more practical, pitched at exactly the right level. The role doesn't just change the tone, it changes what the model chooses to include. Here's a math question. A train leaves at 2 p.m. going 60 miles an hour and needs to cover 150 miles. What time does it arrive? Asked directly, a model can rush straight to a guess and get it wrong, around 3 p.m. Add one instruction. Think step by step, and it walks through it instead. Distance divided by speed, 150 divided by 60 is 2.5 hours. Add that to 2 p.m. The answer, 4:30 p.m. That's chain of thought prompting, forcing the reasoning into the open instead of letting the model jump straight to an answer. List pros and cons of remote work. Get to a paragraph of pros, readable, but useless if some other code needs to do something with that answer. Ask for it as JSON instead, pros as one array, cons as another, and you get back the exact same content and a shape your code can actually parse. Structured output prompting isn't about better writing, it's about asking for the shape you actually need back. A few more patterns worth knowing. Prompt chaining, split a big task into a sequence of smaller prompts. One to outline, one to draft from that outline, one to polish the draft, instead of asking for everything in one shot. Self-consistency, run the same prompt several times and take the answer that shows up most often, instead of trusting a single response. And tool use, sometimes called react, the model states what it needs, calls a tool, like a weather API, reads the result, and only then answers. Each of these hands the model a structure to work within, rather than just a single instruction. And this same skill shows up everywhere. Writing code, write a Python function to dedupe a list with type hints. Writing and editing, rewrite this email to sound more concise and confident. Summarizing, summarize this contract into 3 bullet risks. Support bots that should only answer from an FAQ document. Pulling structured data out of an invoice. Even brainstorming, give me 10 taglines for a coffee brand. Different job, same underlying skill, saying precisely what you want. So what actually makes a prompt good? Be specific. Say exactly what you want, not roughly what you want. Give context the model can't guess. Audience, tone, constraints. Specify the output format up front. Separate your instructions from the data you're handing it, usually with quotes or delimiters. And iterate. Treat the first version as a draft, not the final answer. But here's the catch. Not every bad answer is a wording problem. Sometimes the model is simply missing the actual data or tool it needs to answer correctly, and no amount of rewording fixes that. So prompting well isn't a one-shot trick, it's a loop. Pick the type that fits what you're asking. Match it to the actual use case in front of you. Apply the strategies that make instructions land clearly. Start simple and only reach for the next technique. Examples, steps, a role, a format, when the plain version actually falls short. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon so you don't miss the next one.